In the start of the manga, we see that Brett is laughing at someone and mocks him to make a pitiful face so that she could enjoy. She also said that she hates that they were childhood friends. After saying that, we see a gloomy boy, who is our main character, saying to himself that at that moment, something just broke inside him. Okay, now before we start recapping the manga, we would like you to support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel so that we can make these recap videos more. Okay, to the narrator.
The chapter starts and we are introduced to a super popular idol, and her name is Rua Takayashiki. She's the granddaughter of Taizo Takayashiki, who is the chairman of the massive Taikai Group, a huge corporation that holds control over Japan. Rua's wealth and power are incomparable to ordinary people, and to others, she's like a picture-perfect princess. In the next page, we see our protagonist, and his name is Kazuma Suzuki. Being a gloomy plain guy with no girlfriend or even friends in general, our main character says that he's basically the poster child of a social outcast. No kidding over there, bro looks like L from Death Note. Kazuma continues saying that if he had any distinguished feature, it would be that he is childhood friends with the great Rua Takayasaki. He continues saying that that's how he has always lived, under Rua's shadow, and continues saying that he doesn't want to be special like Rua, he just wants to be normal and have some friends and maybe a girlfriend. But when he told this to Rua, she replied saying that if he is stupid, and with a smirk on her face, she says that a social outcast like him should know his place. She continues saying that his only value is being childhood friends with her, and that had used up all his life's fortune, and that he should know his place. The scene changes and Kazuma says that the words Rua had been saying to him since childhood had been weighing down on him like a curse. But wanting to be normal, Kazuma welcomed spring of his first year of high school. While studying, Kazuma gets a message from Rua. She asked him if he could come to the station at 3 and that she is going to karaoke with Ayachi and others. We learn from Kazuma that Ayachi's full name is Ayachi Hiredi. Rua keeps messaging Kazuma and says that if he wants a girlfriend, he should join her group. At that moment, Kazuma thought that was his chance to change. So he dressed up as best as he could and even went to a hair salon. And he goes to the place where Rua wanted him to come and opened the door to become a new version of himself. But when he enters the room, everyone starts laughing at him and makes fun of him. Even Rua also makes fun of him, but her friend Ayachi doesn't join them. Ayachi realizes what this whole event was about. Rua comes close to him and asks him if anything is wrong and tells him not to just stand there and cry for her. But Kazuma asks her what did he do to deserve that treatment. To which Rua tells her it's because he is her slave, and she tells him to entertain her. And with a nasty smirk on her face, she tells him that having a childhood friend like him is really awful to her. And we see Kazuma's internal monologue, and he realizes his bond with Rua had been broken.
Then something just snapped, something inside of me. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. I didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything.
And so he tells her he also feels the same and tells her to end their friendship. Rua is extremely surprised by hearing this. And yelling at him, she tells him, who does he think he is? But Kazuma tells her that she's the one who said she hates it. But Rua tells him she can hate him as much as she wants, but he can't hate her. But Kazuma thinks to himself, how could someone like her be at the peak of idol popularity? But Kazuma suddenly punches the table and leaves, saying that he has said what he had to say. Rua is shocked by this, but her friends tell her to not to care about it. But Iecha points to the table, where Kazuma left some money, but mainly we see that the table is broken. Everyone says that there's no way Kazuma could have broken the table. But Rua yells out saying that she will never forgive Kazuma for ending their friendship. At the same time, Kazuma, who is outside, thinks to himself that he feels refreshed and that he would rather spend his high school life alone than grovel before her. He continues thinking that he doesn't have to stay as her shadow anymore and that he is free. That night, we see Tayashiki Taizo do some paperwork while someone is standing before him. That moment, Rua calls out saying grandfather, and the serious old man suddenly became cheerful. She entered the room and she told to her grandfather that Kazuma was mean to her today and that he told her to end their friendship. Hearing this, the woman standing before Rua's grandfather asks her if she is telling the truth, and we learn that she is Rua's cousin, Tayashiki Sakura. But Rua tells her she is telling the truth, And calling Kazuma a jerk, she says that he has never stood up to her before. Hearing Rua call Kazuma a jerk, Sakura asks her if she had said something terrible to Kazuma. But declining that, Rua says that she only told Kazuma that he is her slave, and having him as a childhood friend is awful enough. Hearing this, Sakura says that that is really a horrible thing to say to someone. Rua's grandfather also says that it is natural for Kazuma to get angry after that. Hearing this, Rua says that she wasn't being serious and that she was only teasing him a bit. She says that she did it because Kazuma wanted friends and a girlfriend after starting high school and calls it weird. To which Sakura says that there's nothing weird about it and that it's only normal. But Rua says that it's not normal and that Kazuma has heard and says that even after having her by his side, he still wants to get close to other people and she calls it ridiculous and says that that's why she was mean to him and teased him a little. She continues saying that she understands Kazuma the most and that she loves him. And her grandfather boldly agrees with her. And Sakura says that that is the doting grandfather side of him. But Sakura tells her if she wants to make up, she should be the one. But Rua interrupts her saying that she won't and tells Sakura to fix this problem. She tells her to make Kazuma apologize to her and to make him say that he loves her and give her a kiss. But Sakura says that the kiss might be too much. Sakura asks Rua's grandfather if he intends to make Kazuma Rua's husband. To which he says of course and says that that's why he assigned Sakura as Kazuma's mentor to teach him combat techniques and leadership skills and says that a talent like him is rare. To which Sakura agrees and says that she has never seen anyone like him. She says that he intentionally got average scores to match to those around him and that he did this to be Rua's shadow. She continues saying that if he ever got serious, the whole world might be in an uproar and that he is popular with girls too. Because of that, she had to transfer countless girls who fell for him. And because of that, he doesn't know how popular he is. To which Rua says, of course, and that he is her. Rua's grandfather also says that he is worthy to be the higher of the Teikai group. But Sakura thinks that now that he has ended his friendship with Rua, he now has no reasons to suppress his abilities, be that sports, academy, or relationship, and that things might get very complicated. The next morning, when Kazuma goes to attend his class, he sees there's a sign on his desk that says, "No seat for you, LOL." And we see other students are talking about it. And from here, Kazuma's internal monologue starts again and says that she is the worst kind of person there is. Kazuma knows he only has two options. One is to return the chair to a normal position and make no fuss about it, what most of the students would do. And the second is to go to the staff room, which is not an option for him, because that is Teikai Academy. Teikai Academy's mission is to make S-class talent and make Teikai the best in the world. Here, those who have extraordinary talents are called upper class, and the ordinary people are called lower class. And this system controls the school. Rua is the most influential and famous person in Teikai, and her grandfather is the headmaster. Kazuma realizes even if he complains to the staff room, the outcome is clear. He thinks if he should choose option 1 and make no fuss about it. But he decides not to. As he has already decided to live alone, there's a third option for him. So he takes his pen and writes something on the sign. He writes, since that's the case, he'll study himself and tells Tayashiki-san to take care of the attendance. Everyone is frightened about it. But Kazuma walks off on his own. He thinks if he gets caught outside, he'll be in trouble. So he decides to get out of everyone's sight. He goes to somewhere and enters through a door. He says that it's the underground library that only bookworms like him know about. He says that since he has defied Rua, it will be hard for him to make friends or even a girlfriend. So he decides to live peacefully by himself. But when he enters the room, he sees a girl undressing. And seeing Kazuma, the girl yells out loud. And the text says, at that moment, Kazuma didn't know the beginning of his attempt to live a normal life with girls who are anything but
普通
days that never could be called peaceful. At the end, Rua says that Kazuma would come crying and apologize to her. In the next scene, we see Rua uploads a video on YouTube. The video is titled, Princess Rua Lays Down the Law, Know Your Place. In the video, she asks, what should they do? And says that they should talk about the stuff that's been bothering her lately. She says that she went to karaoke with some of her classmates the other day but she specifies that she went with girls only. She tells the viewers to not to get the wrong idea and reminds them how scared of guys she is. Anyways, she says that one of the girls in the group was really rude and says that she was grumpy all the time and walked out in the middle of the show. And calling her followers minions, she tells them, don't crush the mood when everyone's having fun, and tells them of the saying, one for all for one. Finally, she says that she has a big news to share. She says that she's finally announcing her new gig. And while showing the cover, she says that she will be releasing a CD soon with the rising star Minato Amane. And we see both Minato Amane and Rua are on the cover. Rua says that both she and Amane are both in the same agency and go to the same high school. She continues saying that they had an event that Saturday and that the entry cost is completely free and tells the viewers to not to miss it. After that, she takes her leave and ends the video. And we see people have mixed reaction in the video comment. We go back to Kazuma, who is still in the underground library. He says sorry, and after telling his name, he introduces himself as a first-year class 1 student. And the girl we saw earlier introduces herself as Minato Amane and says that she should be the one apologizing for yelling like that. And we see they're actually talking through the door while Amane is changing. Kazuma tells her she doesn't have to apologize and that he should have knocked first. He continues and asks her, did a committee senpai told her about that place? To which she replies to him positively. And Kazuma realizes that is probably the case. After Amane got ready, she opened the door and told Kazuma that he could come in now. And she apologized to him for taking so long. But after seeing her, Kazuma asks her why she was in her gym clothes. But he quickly changes the question and asks her why she was changing there at the first place. Apologizing to him, she tells him that she was just looking for a place to practice her singing and dancing. And then she remembered a senpai telling her about that place. She tells him that she might not look like one, but she is actually a seiyuu and that she had a concert coming up. Kazuma then understands that she is from the performing arts track. He then tells himself that the school is full of artists and Rua is also one of them, and understands that Amane is also one of them. He then asks her if she had bought that full body mirror herself and praises her for her dedication, and proceeds to ask her if she had skipped her class today. She says that when she came that morning, she saw her desk and chair in the hallway, and there was a sign that said that there were no place for her there. Kazuma is familiar with that and thinks if she was crying earlier because of that. At that time, Kazuma got a lot of messages and we see that it's from Rua. And we see that it's a whole lot of bullshits. Seeing that, Kazuma proceeds to block Rua. Kazuma asks her, why would someone do something like that to her? And asks her if she isn't one of the special students. But Amane declines that and says that she is a failure as a seiyuu. And says that there's nothing remarkable about her face or her voice. To which Kazuma says that her bangs are blocking her face, but her voice is really cute. He compares it to a bell, which is soft and easy to listen. Amane gets frustrated by this and turns around saying that there are a lot better than her in the industry, such as Rua herself, to which Kazuma asks if she is sure about it. She confirms it and says that the bullying started right after they announced she would be doing duet with Rua, and she saw a lot of comments which were discouraging her. Kazuma thinks that the fans were rude, but realizes that pigs are attracted to pigs, and says that he wonders how did someone like her end up doing a duet with that pig. Amane asks her, what does he mean by pig? To which Kazuma says that he is talking about Rua. Amane gets scared and tells him to not to say that, as it will bring danger, but Kazuma tells her that there were no one around. Amane gets calm and tells him that it was the agency's decision, as they're in the same high school and agency. They told her she was perfect to support Rua in the stage. Kazuma thinks that they were harsh and realizes that the agency is Teikai magic. He understands that they would do anything to push Ria to the top. And that Ria bullying Minato is really unfair. But Amane says that she doesn't mind being a supporter, not after they gave her at least one chance, and that she would do anything she could to not drag her down. Hearing this, he asks her if that's why she was practicing there, to which she says yes. Kazuma says that that's pretty cool of her, and asks her if she would let him help with that. but says that all he could offer is the perspective of a total newbie. But if she doesn't mind, she would like to give it a try. Hearing this, Amane gets surprised, and by holding Kazuma's hand, she thanks him. But seeing her face properly, Kazuma thinks that she is prettier than the pig, referring to Rua, and we finally get to see Rua's actual picture. At the break time, Kazuma, worried for Amane, decides to bring some water for her. But someone interrupts Kazuma, and we see that it's none other than Rua. She asks her where has he been, and tells him who does he think he is, skipping class like that. But Kazuma is not surprised at all. But she keeps asking him why is he ignoring her, and that she did not forget that he blocked her. But she changes the mood and asks him if he is ignoring her because she is too beautiful for him. But he just walks past her. Rua shouts him to wait, but Kazuma ignores her. But someone grabs Kazuma's back, calling him a gloomy loser. We see it's a blonde hair guy, and he asks Kazuma who told him to leave. And he tells Kazuma to show some respect to Rua. Kazuma remembers that the blonde guy is a special student in basketball club. Kazuma understands that this guy doesn't practice basketball at all and sticks with Rua all the time. But seeing Kazuma's careless face, the guy pisses off and tries to punch him. But Kazuma suddenly vanishes before him and gets behind him with a sinister aura. Bro thinks he's Goku.
It's me, Goku!
The guy is absolutely shocked and thinks when did he get behind him. We learn that the blonde guy's name is Asano, and the students around him are talking down on him because he missed while punching Kazuma. Kazuma increases the emotional damage by saying that he should hit the gym more. Asano gets angry and tries to punch him again, but Rua stops it. Asano is surprised by it. She says that she is the only one who is allowed to mess with Kazuma, and the others are only allowed to mess with him, and orders them to not to lay a hand on Kazuma, and tells him to know his place. Though Asano is surprised by it, he agrees. Kazuma calls out to Rua, and Rua happily asks him what he wants to say. To which Kazuma asks her if she really thinks she looks cool or something, and she is shocked by hearing it. But Kazuma says that no one in this world is allowed to bully or to be bullied. And in the MC style, he says that, especially not him, and tells her to not to mess with him again while leaving. Rua collapses to her knees and everyone asks her if she is okay. But we see that she is just flattered by Kazuma while saying that he is so cool.
Huh? Huh?
We see it's already been a week and Amane is practicing her steps. But she suddenly slips while practicing. But Kazuma grabs her in his hand. Amane thanks Kazuma, but he just tells her to be safe before the concert. She tells him that he is amazing as he always shows up when she is about to fall. But Kazuma just says it's nothing special. But Amane says that he is really special and thanks him again for always supporting her and protecting her. Kazuma is a bit flattered because he thinks this is the first time someone has ever said that to him. And he welcomes her and says that it really wasn't a big deal. But Kazuma tells her, wouldn't it be easier for her to not to turn when she steps back to the center stage, and that way she wouldn't lose her balance so much. She says that if she does that, she wouldn't stand out on the stage. Kazuma thinks of an idea and tells her what if she jumped back then. But she says that it's impossible for her. But Kazuma tells her she could do it if she put some power on her knees. And he proceeds to show it to her. He jumps and slides midair while landing perfectly and says that it's pretty easy. But Amane is amazed by this. She says that it's not for her and that normal people can't do that. She says that Kazuma must have high grades on PE. But Kazuma says no and says that he has got straight threes in every subject since elementary school. And Amane is surprised to hear it. But Kazuma says that the other thing that might get in her way is her posture. Amane says that she figured he would say that, and that people always tell her that she slouches like a cat. To which Kazuma advises her to lean into that, and tells her to say meow while acting like a cat. She does it perfectly, and Kazuma tells her to do it while dancing. So Amane does it while dancing, and while acting like a proud teacher, Kazuma thinks that she looks cute while doing that. Amane is a bit tired but says that she thinks she gets the rhythm. Kazuma tells her that she did great and tells her that all she needs is a cat ear and tail. Amane also agrees but changes her mind and says no. and says that she can't do it in the performance. Kazuma asks her why, to which she says that it wouldn't match with Rua and that she is just a support girl to her. Kazuma asks her if she is okay with that. She says yeah and says that dancing and singing was never her real job, and the performance she wanted him to watch was just her acting practice, and that she is a seiyuu and voicing anime characters is all she wants to do. She continues saying that that's why she worked so hard all this time, so it could someday help her in her voicing career. Kazuma thinks that she's a positive girl and that she looks bright when she talks about voice acting. Kazuma tells her what he would also like to do but stops midway. But when Amane asks about it, he says that he doesn't have any goals or dreams like her. Amane asks her if there's anything he wants to be in the future, to which Kazuma says that he just wants to be normal and that he doesn't want to be special and he would be proud about it. Amane says that that's fine and that he could be as normal as he wants to be and that she is sure about that. Hearing this, Kazuma gets happy and thanks her. But Amane says that there's something she wants to ask him. She says that she heard he and Rua had a fight recently and asks him was it because of her. But Kazuma says that wasn't because of her. But she tells him that they're childhood friend and asks him if she's getting in between in the two of them. But Kazuma tells her that it's nothing like that and that they are not childhood friends anymore. Amane is relieved after hearing this. Then she proceeds to ask Kazuma if he doesn't mind, would he like to? But she gets interrupted by the library door getting slammed. And we see the one who slammed the door was Rua. Rua, with a devious face, asks her what she is doing with Kazuma in a place like that. And Amane gets really scared by this, while Kazuma is unfazed by it.